Way back when COVID hit, jails in our area and across the country, they changed their policies. They started to limit who could be booked into the facility. It was an attempt to keep COVID out of the jails by keeping as many people out as possible. Well, some of those kept out people charged with low-level theft like shoplifting, which does seem to be everywhere now. The jails, their policies, and the impact on our communities, those are tonight's big story. When someone is booked into a county jail, it can mean that they're off the street for hours on the short end or even months on the long end. Police will tell you even for low-level crimes, getting booked into jail can be a real deterrent. But it turns out some jails are not authorized to book someone charged with shoplifting, and that alone can make a difference. Take, for example, Washington County, where those bookings are allowed. The courthouse is in Hillsborough. Sometimes that's a 40-minute drive from Beaverton, which is on the east side of the county. Police have said that arresting someone and driving them to jail, then taking the time to book them into the jail, even if they are released later that day, well, that can disrupt the crime pattern of someone who's stealing. It might also make them less likely to steal in Washington County again. I checked with Washington County and Clackamas County. Both their jails do allow police to book someone charged with a low-level theft like shoplifting. Neither county, though, would have anyone who could talk to me about it today. But Multnomah County and across the river in Clark County, that's Vancouver, those two jails do not allow shoplifters to be booked except under special circumstances. The county sheriffs run the jails. Today I talked with both about their policies. Here's Sheriff Chuck Atkins from Clark County. He wishes more low-level crimes could be booked into his jail.
Those immediate consequences really play a part. All of us have that little part in us that doesn't want to get caught. You don't want to, if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing. And then when you're held accountable to it, it maybe clicks in later the next time that hey, that wasn't a fun place to be, even if it was only for 4 hours. But let's just say, it was a few days. I think that's highly important. I think they need to feel that pain a little bit that they cause others to feel.
Pretty sure he's talking about the psychological pain and the inconvenience pain. Sheriff Atkins said even with remodeling and double booking, his jail can only hold about 420 people. And right now, he said nearly everyone being held is a felon. There's no policy against booking those lower level crimes. There's just not much room.
I think it is a deterrent if we could do that. There are some issues here in Clark County that I don't know that the other counties experience. And part of that has to be because of an older failing jail that opened in like 1987 and has a very small capacity. So we had to really focus closely on, with COVID, when COVID hit, on how many people we could bring into the jail for space, to keep separation, et cetera, which really reduced our ability to bring people into the jail.
The Multnomah County Jail is in downtown Portland. Sheriff Mike Reese says it's still under some COVID restrictions.
Yeah, during the pandemic, I think we wanted to do everything we could with our system partners at the Portland Police Bureau, the courts, the DA, the Gresham Police Department, parole and probation, to preserve the health and welfare of our jail system. So we restricted at the onset of the pandemic some of the booking criteria. First, we were limiting it to just felonies. And then as we talked to public safety partners and we saw some of the improvements we made in our response to the pandemic, we allowed for other charges.
Okay, but it seems like we're kind of past the worst part of the pandemic. Is it maybe time to relook at the policies?
We're always going to be evaluating with our public health partners the response to the pandemic from a jail system management perspective. We are going to move gradually back into open booking where we allow all charges to be booked. We want to do that in a way that preserves the health of our jail system. We've got a lot of serious offenders in custody right now. Over 115 people charged with murder or murder-related types of offenses. We want to make sure that we are able to continue to have a viable jail system so that the worst offenders can be booked into custody.
Sheriff Reese said sometimes shoplifters are still booked into the jail, for example, when Portland police are running a special mission targeting them. And yes, sheriff's deputies do arrest people for shoplifting. And yes, he said they are frustrated that the district attorney brings charges in less than half the low-level theft cases.
Yeah, I think there's frustration from line staff, our officers and deputies out on patrol. Certainly, they are at the front end of the criminal justice system and want to have the best possible outcomes from the cases that they present. But we're looking at, from our perspective, a lower bar than the district attorney's office is for prosecution. So we need probable cause to make an arrest, whereas the district attorney's looking at beyond a reasonable doubt as a standard to prosecute.
Reese also pointed out that someone like a young first-time shoplifter might only need a call to a parent as a real deterrent, while a more prolific shoplifter might need jail time along with drug, alcohol, and mental health treatment. So that's what's happening with the local shoplifters and our local jails. What are your thoughts on all this? Do you have a solution or an opinion? Either one's fine. Send it my way. You can email me at thestory@kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail, 503-226-5090. I look forward to hearing from you.